So, Chesh, it's been a while. How are things?
Yeah, all right. Lockdown was difficult. I think it's difficult for a lot of people, but glad to be back.
Of course, it's been about 6 months or so. How have you found that sort of time, especially with the lockdown, being separated from everyone and then having to sort of slowly get back to some form of normality, although restricted?
Oh, obviously I'm a teacher, so I've had quite a long time off of work. I struggled on a personal front, missed football a lot, gained a lot of weight. Pre-season's been interesting, especially getting back into the swing of it, but no, it's brilliant being back with the girls, and everyone's working so hard to be ready for the season, and that date was released this week obviously, and it's amazing.
And during that time, especially as sort of like one of the senior members of the team, being a captain, how did you feel like your role in terms of keeping team morale during that period? How did that go?
I think it's just keeping in touch with everyone, making sure that everyone's all right, and it was a tough time for everyone, not just sports teams, but for people as individuals, being locked in your house for however many months with minimal contact. Our WhatsApp group hasn't ever been very lively, but I think people were checking in on each other. We had lots of Zooms, whether that be fitness or quizzes. The banter was flowing over Zoom as well. So yeah, I think we've done well as a club to keep in contact with everyone and keep everyone above board.
And then of course the news that everyone was waiting for, you could start training again, albeit at the beginning it was one-on-one stuff, and then it was slowly the small groups. Just what was your reaction when you got that news?
So excited. From an hour a day training, like I've never run before in my life, but I was going for a run every day and it was so boring on my own. As soon as we were allowed to train, even in small groups, there were a dedicated group of us that were out every week, sometimes 3 or 4 times a week. So we've been training now for a couple of months. But yeah, it's better to be back with all of us now.
Yes, of course. Back in group training, we can see the girls working hard behind you. Of course, as well, there is restrictions in place, so it's not quite the normal training that you had way back in March. How has that been for you in terms of adapting, especially with the psychological element of going, oh yeah, you can have contact when you're training and in your matches, but once you stop that, you need to be separated?
I do honestly think some of the rules are a little bit different. We've had to amend our social aspect, but actually we're back training now. We're doing the minor things, and we're making sure that we're adhering to the guidelines. But yeah, it is different. It's that extra element to think about, as well as the fact that you haven't kicked a ball for 6 months.
And how are you feeling right now after the first game on Sunday? That was 161 days since that last competitive fixture against Exeter. How are you feeling?
Monday was a struggle. Today was still a little bit of a struggle. No, it was amazing. The euphoria of playing again was fantastic. It was just exciting, and there was lots of lessons learned. I think it was good to get everyone back together, including our new players, which have been a great addition to the squads. Yeah, it was very exciting.
And yeah, they had a few challenges in that game as well, with new faces, just general challenges, and that first game. Did you feel it went well?
Yeah, I think, like we say, with COVID, things were very different. It wasn't a normal match day. There were changes within changing rooms and kit and getting ready. Like, preparations were different for obvious reasons, which kind of, a lot of players have pre-match routines that we couldn't adhere to, because it was just, yeah, it was different. But other than that, it was just good to get going again.
Just a final note, of course, the big news that we announced earlier this pre-season was new home grounds. We are bringing women's football to the community of Alresford. What sort of reaction did you have to that, and do you think that's going to have a positive impact on the club and also the town of Alresford?
I was excited, so excited, and it's even grown going and seeing the pitch and meeting the people from the community and the people that run the place. It's very exciting times. They're amazing down there, and Sunday felt like we'd been there for years. So it's a great start to know that we've got a great facility there, we've got great changing rooms, and we've also got a great team to work with us as well.